Welcome to the Blind Zone, where curiosity brings its own reward. And what am I curious about today? Well, a couple weeks ago, when I did the Besties episode with my friend Janine, she said some things, and I was curious if she was correct or not. And she generally is, so I think this will prove it. She said some things that I thought was really interesting, but one of her statements was that she and I were very different. And I thought about that, and I thought of all the ways that we are different. So I'm going to list those for you, and then I'm going to make some observations at the end about that. So, how some of the ways we're different. She loves to exercise. She plans it in her day. She makes time for it, and she's really good at it. And she rides 60 miles a day on her bike trips and things like that. So she's very exercise driven. I am super thrilled if I get through 2 weeks doing the same things, but then it always falls away and I never stick with an exercise routine. Although I know I'd probably be better off for it, but it's just not anything I like to do or want to do. So I just don't do it. Another way we're different is cooking. She's really, really, really a good cook. And she uses recipes, and she's recommended some recipe books that I've given to my son because I don't cook. And so she's a very good cook, and I don't like to cook. She follows the recipes. I don't think I've followed more than 3 recipes in my life. So we can see where, where the limitation is and what makes her good and what makes me not a very good cook. The next thing I know we're very different about is gardening. She loves to garden, and she has done community plots, and she was just telling me recently how they in their neighborhood got together and what they're going to plant and who's going to water and weed and all the rest of that. And honestly, I don't like to garden. I don't even like to eat salad, let alone grow it. So that's another way we're different. Another way we're very different is she's super creative. And in the past, she's done stained glass. She's done where she's taken limbs and twigs and made furniture out of it. More recently, she has been into pottery, to which I've been the recipient of at least 6 things. She's made me 3 fabulous hand-painted bowls. She'd made me a big dish for the center of my table. She'd made me a candy dish, a little tray. She's made me some really fun things, and I just value it because she puts so much work into it, and she tells me the depth and the detail that she went into, the finishes and all that stuff. And when she was here on her last trip, she painted me a watercolor for my bathroom, and it's 16 by 22, and she incorporated all the colors in my bathroom, and it's of a lake and cloud scene, and it's just stunning. The fact that she can do that, and I don't have that kind of creativity. Now, I did creatively make these fun popcorn earrings, but they were in response to her saying that her and I ate popcorn balls as kids, so I thought that would be fun. But again, I can think it up, but I can't make it come out my hands. So creativity is her gift, and it's really not mine. 3 things we're really, really different on is our views on politics, on medicine, and spirituality. And this is one of the beauty parts of our friendship. We know how different we are in those areas, and we never try to change the other person's mind. We just let them have their opinions, and we don't bother trying to change them, because all that would do would be to change our relationship, and we're not interested in doing that over those 3 topics that we can't do anything really about. The other thing, and this is a true difference, she's very, very fact based, and I'm very opinion based. So I'll make a comment, and then she'll fact check me, and I appreciate that. But generally it doesn't change my opinion at all. So I like to, she likes to check everything, and I like to just take my opinion grenades and throw them into the room and let them explode and land where they might. And I don't really care one way or the other, and what I believe, and I believe it. And so I leave it alone. The next thing we're really different about is travel. She loves to travel, and she's been to some fabulous places. I think one of her favorite trips is when she and her son went to Africa. Now, they saw all kinds of fabulous things, and her and her mom have traveled to Poland and the Netherlands and Ireland, and she's went to a lot of different places, and the usual places, Africa and all, I'm sorry, Alaska and all over the United States. I don't like to travel that much. I've done a little bit of it. I like more to go visit people and build relationships. Seeing the sights and having a bucket list of that thing really, really doesn't interest me at all. The other way that we're very different is the outdoors. She loves being outdoors, and I do not. I am very much a Goldilocks. I don't like to be too hot, and I don't like to be too cold. And as you'll see in the thumbnail, it is of her and I at the beach, and so we're all wind blown. And I kept whining, we're not going to get wet here, are we? Now, we were at the ocean, for pity's sake, and yes, my feet did get wet. And I try not to complain too much, but it was kind of breezy and it was a little chilly. But she loves that kind of stuff, and she'll go out in all kinds of weather. She used to do uh, what's it, skiing, skiing up, because she lives in Michigan. So, she enjoyed all that. I don't really care for that at all. And here's another personality difference. We both like to problem solve, but she likes to get things done. And again, I just like to throw the opinion grenades in the room and let them go off and just do the destruction that they're going to do. And a very good example of this is we each joined, she is on her HOA board because she wanted to have the environment in which she lives to be sustainable and to be as well cared for as possible while the people don't encroach too much. So she was very involved in that. She was the secretary, and she knows all the rules and regulations, and she set about to make them work. I was asked to be on the board here at my HOA, and I agreed. But I will tell you, on the night that I was to give my speech about why they should vote for me, I said, you know what? I don't even think I'm going to vote for me. So I would appreciate it if you didn't vote for me, because I'm not that interested. I trust the people who are here so they can just carry on without me. And excuse me, and I was sincere. So she's a problem solver, and she's joined boards and groups and things in her community to help really make it better. And I, again, want to stand on the outskirts and just look in and, peek in from now and then to make sure everything, is running well. The other thing I noticed about the first Besties part one, I guess we'll call it, is she wanted to really show you all the facets of herself, and she really wanted to expose kind of like the flaws and the bruises. And I liken it to like it's an apple. Well, I want to be the apple, but I want to be the shiny apple. I want to polish it up and have it, be looking all shiny and bright, and put my best face forward and not let anybody see the wrinkles and the bruises under all that. And she didn't want that. She wanted to just say, I'm a shiny apple too, but I have bruises and wormholes from, my past. So we're different that way. She will allow you to see who she is, and I don't want you to see who I am. And our appearance is very different. She's very refined, and she works, I don't want to say hard, but she works deliberately at her looks. She takes good care of her skin and her hair, and she's very meticulous with her makeup and stuff. And she refines it, and she makes it move forward with the times, and she changes that needs. Mine is kind of a 50-50 shot. If I don't feel like doing it that day, I won't. So some days I look better than other days, and it just doesn't matter. Now, there are days that I do like to look good, and I will go out and present that. So our appearance is different because she has a very good sense of style, and I'm just very basic. In fact, that's why I always liked it when she came and she helped me with my clothing, because then I could live a little outside of the box. But again, her flair and style, I would look ridiculous in, but she really carries it off well. So that's it. That's our big differences, and they are very different. Now, originally, I was going to do another video after this one, and I was supposed to have a magic wand, and I was going to say the video is going to be on what I wish for you. And I thought about that, and instead of saying, well, I wish you would do this or I wish you would do that, I thought about this video in conjunction to that, and I can honestly say, I wish that you all had a best friend like I do that knows all the ins and outs of everything that I am, that we are so different, but yet we're unconditionally in love, committed to each other, and all those differences don't make any bit of difference. So my wish for you is that you also have a bestie like I do that have stood the test of time, and we've gone the distance together. So that's it. I just wanted to clarify the besties part one and just show her what a super person she is. And she was right on one account. I am her biggest cheerleader. I think she's one of the smartest women I know. She's uh, she really cares for others in a way that I do not. she, in fact, I wonder now after doing this why she even hangs out with me. I don't seem very value added at all. But we fit into each other's lives very well. We had our kids around the same time. We had our grandkids around the same time. So we've done parenting and grandparenting. And now we're floating off well into our 60s and beyond together. So that's it. Thanks for watching The Blind Zone. And we'll see you next week.